he goes to serve food to this little 7-year-old boy dying of cancer. And the little boy said, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And he said, "No, I don't really believe in all that. But if there is a heaven, I'm sure you will go there." And he says to him, "I'm going to pray for you, and you'll be there too." This CEO, he was a pharmaceutical executive and then a CEO of several biomedical companies. Again, these guys are like, they got a lot to lose. In fact, when he first read my book, Imagine Heaven, and he came to me and he was nervous about talking publicly about it because he's like, my career will be gone. Mm-hmm. And yet they do, but he is there with Jesus. He had 6 embolisms travel up his leg and had a pulmonary embolism, blocked his breathing. Then his body goes into sepsis, shuts down. And he finds himself in, again, this incredibly beautiful place. And he's with Jesus. He's walking with him. And then Jesus starts to show him these vignettes of his life. Okay. And there's like a life review. Now, in his case, it wasn't everything. But he showed him these different points. And this one was, first he had a really hard upbringing. So he had no friends. He was in and out of the hospital a lot. He was overweight, so he was bullied a lot. And Jesus is showing him this. And he's like, "Why are you showing me this?" Like, he's basically like, "This sucks. Why are you making me relive this?" Because they not only see it, you feel it, you think it, you remember everything as if you were re-experiencing it, but not just what you were thinking and feeling, what the other people you were interacting with were also thinking and feeling. So it's like you experience your life in a relational way from God's perspective. That's what's so life-altering about it. But what was kind of cool in Randy's case is he asked, "Why are you showing me this?" And then it dawned on him. "Were you there with me?" And Jesus looks at me and he says, "I was always with you, just waiting for you to turn to me." And he was basically showing him that, even in all the suffering, he's been there through it. He's been there with him. And he goes to another venue where he sees himself now, and he became an atheist. He went to Northwestern University. He tried to disprove God and disprove all religions. And he went through this whole, he was a pretty mean atheist for a while. And so he's working as an orderly in a hospital. And he goes to serve food to this little 7-year-old boy dying of cancer. So this is Randy standing with Jesus in this heavenly experience, watching and experiencing this scene play out again. And the little boy, he comes in, and the little boy said, "I'm dying, but I'm going to go to heaven." And Randy said, "Well, I'm really sorry, but if there is a heaven, I'm sure you will go there." And the little boy said, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And he said, "No, I don't really believe in all that, but I'm glad you do. I'm sure you'll be there." And the little boy, this is a little 7-year-old dying of cancer, right? And he says to him, "I'm going to pray for you, and you'll be there too." And Randy's standing there with Jesus in heaven, watching this little boy pray for him, who he didn't even know. And he realizes that God used even that in all the things of his life to get him there.
Wow.
And so the reliving these life reviews, what people commonly say to me is that it was their whole life. And like Dr. Mary Neal said, it was like my life was laid bare for all its good and all its bad. And so they're seeing this again. Now, here's the thing, Shawn, is most people fear that. I have. There are things in my life I don't want to sit there and watch before God, right? And then I started to realize, okay, wait a second. This is God. Do I really think I've been hiding? Do I really think he doesn't know everything? And that's the reality. No, he's been with you always. And when you start to realize the character of God, that God cares about us, like you care for your little son, like I care for my daughter and son, my little granddaughters, more so, infinitesimally more so. And he has compassion and mercy, and he wants to help us. He's not a condemning. That's what Jesus said. I didn't come to condemn. I came to rescue. And so that's what near-death experiencers commonly say. They say, God was not judging me. I was judging myself. God was unconditionally loving me and supporting me through this, learning about my life.
Why do you think humanity does put God in that box that we were discussing at the beginning, where it is judgment, rules? It's like I've always viewed him as an authority, like a disciplinary.
The enforcer.
You know? What?
The cosmic cop.
Yeah. The cosmic cop. Well, I like that one.
Yeah, like my friend likes to say, we look at God like he's sitting up there, and he's just a little bit perturbed and angry and like, is anybody having fun down there? Well, cut it out. Get back to work.
Yeah. Where did that come
Nothing
from?
could be further from the truth. You know what the last thing Jesus said, his last night on earth before he knew he was going to be crucified? Which, by the way, I like to point out, he willingly took the bullet for us. It wasn't forced on him. He said, you could do nothing to me if it weren't the will of my Father in heaven. He took the bullet. And right before that night before, he said, this is in John chapter 15. He said, I've told you these things so that my joy would be in you and your joy would overflow. So think about it. Everything we love about this life, every good thing, every beautiful thing, all the pleasures, all the adventures, all the competition. I'm a soccer player. I still play. I love it. Where do we think we got the ability to experience good things like that?
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.